we will start on our backs. We'll take a few moments to connect to your breath because really that's everything. Your breath is everything. And it's very much at the source of your posture as well. So hands are going to come to your belly. Knees will be bent. You're going to take your feet wide and just drop your knees into each other. So we're opening up the back of the sacrum. Take a long inhale here. And a full exhale here. And continue that breath. As you inhale, you fill up your hands. As you exhale, your hands drop deeper into your belly hollows. Inhale, you fill. Exhale, you empty. A few more rounds like that. Start to feel that your body is moving in all directions, not just up, but you're moving out to the sides, and you're breathing into your low back even. So this diaphragmatic breath is so beneficial for so many reasons, but it actually is really good for your back because when you breathe into your diaphragm, the way the diaphragm connects to your lumbar spine, it actually creates a release between the vertebrae and stimulates the disc there so that you are preventing deterioration of your spine. Who knew? The breath is everything. Good, bring your arms out to the side like a cactus or a field goal. Drop both of your knees to the right and then look over your left shoulder. Engage your left glute to press the hip forward more and get a stretch across the front of that left hip. Come back through center and then take it to the other side. So knees are going to go left. Right hip is going to squeeze forward a bit and you're pressing it forward and up so that you get a stretch here in the front of that right hip. You can look to your right. And then come back through center. Both knees lift up. You can either just hug your knees into your chest or come into happy baby, holding the edges of the feet, arms to the inside of the leg. And if it feels good here, just rock around a little bit. Feel your back and the floor. Let the floor massage your back. And then knees through center if they're not already there. And we'll make our way to our hands and our knees. You can roll to your side or you can rock all the way up and around. Hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. You can turn the palms open a little bit here to kind of give your shoulders more space. And we're moving into cat's breath. So again, focusing on the breath. Inhale. Pull the heart, the head, the tail to the sky. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. And then exhaling, rounding the back, pushing the floor away, dropping the head and the tail. Inhale to extend. And exhale, round the back. Inhaling. And exhaling. Two more, inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale. Now come to a neutral spine with your inhale. You're going to tuck your toes and press back into downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, if your hamstrings are tight, especially from sitting all day, you can keep a bend in your knees so that you prioritize your spine. If your hamstrings are fairly open, start to press the thighs back and then find your center here, allowing the lower body to carry as much weight as the upper body. Ears between biceps. Spiraling pinky fingers toward the edges of the mat, thumbs gently drawing in toward each other. Inhale, you're going to shift forward to plank, shoulders on top of wrists, and you can adjust your stance if it was too short or too long. And then downward facing dog, press back. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg stretches up and back. Right leg is going to come next to your right foot. Place your left knee down, pad your knee if you need to, it shouldn't be painful. For today, we're going to release the toenails down to the ground and point the toe toward the back of your mat, or toes toward the back of your mat. Lifting from the pelvis, lifting from the belly, lift the spine up, Anjaneyasana. Sink into the front heel, and then push into that heel to create some resistance back, to lift the belly off the thighs. Push into the back foot. That's going to make the knee and the back leg feel a little lighter. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms. And then release your hands down to the ground. Straighten your front leg, shift your hips back. Pause. That is my cat, little mister. This is the face of home practice. So, family members, cats, dogs, children, whatever's coming in the picture, you can still get your practice in. Rebend your front leg, tuck the back toes, turn your heel to the center of your mat. And then come up and around for warrior two. So I'm going to allow you to have this back view. Sorry for my back, but it's important to see the back view. The tailbone is heavy and long. The low back is long, so you're not crunching up that low back. Release the tail down. Wrap this inner right thigh open. Sink deeply, and then stretch the arms away from each other. Inhale. Turn the palms up. Straighten the front leg. Keep the right hip lifting. Exhale. Lower down. Inhale. Rise. Exhale. Lower down. One more time. Inhale. Rise. And then exhale. Pause here. You've got about 5 breaths. Find the peak of your pose here. How deep can you go where you still feel safe, where you feel connected and centered and you can breathe. And then reverse warrior. Flip that right hand up and then take the arms back. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands around. Come onto the back toes, step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Stay here for your exhale. Inhale. Stay for your exhale. Inhale. This time, exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Try to do it in one straight line as best you can. Release the toes. So toenails are down, toes point back. Inhale, cobra. Soften down, exhale. Inhale, curling up. So lighten the hands, they pull toward the back of the mat. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, soften. Tuck your toes. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here, just recenter. Connect back in. And then your next inhale, left leg stretches up and back. And then left foot comes between your hands next to that left foot, left hand. Yeah. Release the knee down, release the foot, point the toes, push the toenails down. Lift from the pelvis to rise up. Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend the elbows, release your hands to the floor, and then straighten your front leg and shift back. Rebend the front leg. Tuck the back toes, turn your heel in. Come up and around for warrior two. All right, so front view, same thing, leveling the pelvis, extending out through the arms. So less about holding the arms up. This is like feeding into that posture issue that we have, right? Where the shoulders are like, oh. Release the shoulders, stretch the arms out. And then inhale, rise up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, sinking down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's see how deep we can go on this next one. Exhale. Stay here and breathe. About 5 breaths. And then reverse warrior, up and back. One more inhale. Bring your hands around to the ground. Step back to plank. Take an inhale and plank. And then you have a choice here. You can either come halfway down, chaturanga dandasana, or to the ground. And then upward facing dog with the thighs suspended, or cobra again. And downward facing dog with your exhale. Take a pause here. Recenter your breath, recenter your body, recenter your thoughts, come back to what you're doing. Inhale, lift your heels up, bend your knees, stretch your hips back, look at the top of your mat, and then walk your feet to your hands. Come halfway up with your inhale. Fold down, exhale. Rise up to stand, inhale. And hands into your heart, exhale. Just take a pause here. Our ideal posture. It's in Tadasana, mountain pose. It's in the foundation of our feet. It's in the stacking of our knees over our ankles, our hips over our knees, our shoulders on top of our hips, and our head on top. Finding that balance. If you think of it segmented, how do we balance those layers? Front to back in the foot, side to side in the foot, all equal pressure. Kneecaps are lifting. Front hip points are rising. Chest broadens, shoulders broaden, but not at the expense of arching the back. Nice and neutral. Soften the front ribs. With your next inhale, stretch your arms up for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Plant your hands on the floor, step back to plank, and then you choose, you can go right to down dog or lower down chaturanga or the floor, up dog or cobra. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale. Right leg stretches back with your inhale. Right knee into your chest, place your foot between your hands. Stay high in the back toes, rise up for crescent pose. So nice big bend in this front leg. Your back knee can be bent to facilitate lifting the spine and the arms. And then once you're here, maybe start to re-straighten that back leg. One more inhale. Left hand to the ground, right hand to the sky. And just wring out your spine. You can lean into that left hand a little more than you think you need to. You can really use that left hand to lift open. And then release your hand down and around. Straighten your front leg. Melt over the front leg. And then rebend the leg. Step back to plank. You choose if you would like to come with me through chaturanga, or if you want to skip it, modify it, knees, whatnot. And we come back into downward facing dog. Left leg stretches up and back. Place your left foot next to your left hand, slowly. Crescent pose, rising up. And then right hand comes to the floor. Left hand comes to the sky. Use this right hand, wring out your spine. Energetically pull your feet toward each other. One more inhale. Release your hand down. Straighten the front leg. Melt over this front leg. Rebend the front knee. Plant your hands with power. Step back to plank. This time we're lowering all the way to your belly. So use your knees if you need to. All the way down, all the way down. Fantastic. You're going to stretch your right arm out to the right side. So arm can be straight or elbow can be bent. I'm going to go straight arm variation. It gives me a little bit more play. So I like this version if you're not sure how you feel in it. Reach the toes back. Look left. Put your right cheekbone down on the floor, your temple. Stretch the right hand a little further away. Push into the left hand and roll onto your right side. And then from there, maybe walk the hand a little further away. This is perfect. If you want, left foot comes to the ground behind your right leg with your knee bent. And then find your breath a little deeper, a little smoother. Allow your awareness to rest in your breath. Last inhale. And then gently come out the same way you came in. So if you bent that left leg, bring it back in. Come around. Take your left arm out to the side and then just look over to the right. Bend this right arm, put the hand on the floor. Just feel the openness across the shoulder, across the chest here. And then we'll set it up for the other side. So just roll onto the left side. Maybe stretch the hand a little further away, lengthening out the arm. You can stay with the legs stacked, or you can take your right leg, bend the knee and put the foot behind the left leg on the floor. And then just check in with your spine, lengthen out the neck. You can release your head down. If your head sits up here and you need some guidance for your neck, you can make a fist with your hand and then rest your temple there if that feels better. If coming all the way to the floor doesn't feel good, or if you have a pillow or a towel, that's a little less aggressive than a fist, but it gets the same thing done. How is your breath? How's the quality of your breath, the rhythm of your breath, the in to the outs? So we'll move out of here the same way we came in. If you have this right leg bent, you're going to bring it back on top of the left. We'll come back through center. And bring your hands under your shoulders. Press back into child's pose. Take your heels and your hips together, your hips to your heels. Relax. Release the forehead down. Release the neck. Inhale, rise up onto your hands and your knees. And then you're going to walk your hands forward quite a bit. So this is not child's pose. You're going to keep your hips above your knees and bring your forearms down to the ground. And then if it's okay, you're going to lift your hands and bring your palms together and then drop the heart down toward the floor. The hips stay high Getting a nice shoulder stretch here. Maybe the hands pull back behind the head. And then rising back up. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. And then back to downward facing dog. So just allowing this to be a marker of how your shoulders feel, how your spine feels. After just a few simple postures. Well, maybe not simple, but a few postures. I'm going to bring your right knee forward. You're going to bring the knee toward the top of your mat, single leg pigeon. So if this feels unhappy on your knee in any way, you're going to roll onto your back. So I'll give you the alternative and I'll come back to single leg pigeon. Roll onto your back, open the, cross the ankle to the thigh and then open the knee. You can stay here or you can lift the leg up for thread the needle. Otherwise, single leg pigeon, our knee is forward. Your foot doesn't have to be toward the top of the mat. You can have as big of an angle on this front shin as you need to. So allow that to feel really good on your body. Knee pretty much wider than the hip if it feels okay. More than anything, find your center here. So sometimes I use my arms to support and just rock a little bit side to side to find where my center is, stretching that back leg a little longer with the space created, and then coming down onto forearms, maybe coming all the way down if it feels good. You'll find where you need to be today. If you're here on your forearms, push the forearms down and open up the chest and spread the collarbones, the shoulder blades in the back. So it's almost like you're holding a plank in your center. If you're all the way down, you can release a bit more. Last full breath here. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Coming back through downward facing dog. Unless you're on your back, you can stay there for thread the needle. If you're switching to the second side of single leg pigeon, we will step back through downward facing dog, take a breath, and then switch sides. Bringing the knee forward. And then if you want to do the same thing on the first side, you're just rocking a little side to side, finding your center, stretching the back leg a little further back as you create some space. And then once you feel centered, coming forward, allow your breath to be your focal point. That's my 2-year-old, if you heard that squeal. This is home practice. Last couple of breaths here. Bring your hands back onto your shoulders. If you're on your back, stay where you are. From single leg pigeon Downward facing dog. Good, and then we're all gonna meet in a forearm plank. So if you're on your back, you can just come around. Come down onto the forearms. Nice straight line. Head through spine, through legs to your heels. Push the forearms down, spread the upper back, pull the heart forward. Shorten from your belly button to your pubic bone. One more inhale. And then exhale, release slowly, hips to the ground. Release your feet so they point back behind you. Take your elbows out wide, release the chest down, and then sweep the arms wide to bring them behind your hips. Shalabhasana, stretching the knuckles toward the heels, lengthening the crown of the head forward. So keep the gaze down a little bit, back of the neck long, and then float the feet up off the floor. Less about how high your feet come and more about how long can you make your body. Let those shoulders open up. One more inhale. Release the hands around. Stack your hands. Place your forehead to your hands and just release. And then we'll repeat that, or if you feel comfortable, we'll come into Dhanurasana. So you'll bend the legs. So either repeat Shalabhasana or bring your hands back toward your feet. Find the feet, find the ankles, whatever you can grab hold of. And then notice your shoulders here. We want to open up. We want to let go of all that tension from sitting around, working, maybe watching TV, pushing the feet back, and opening up the heart. Let the shoulders go for a ride here. Yes, push the feet back. One more inhale. Carefully release down, and then press up and back. And child's pose again. Release your breath gently. Come up to hands and knees, and then take a seat. All right. I hope you're feeling your chest opening, your spine lengthening. You're gonna bring your feet out in front of you. Home stretch here. Hands behind the hips. Roll the chest open. Lift the hips up. One more inhale. And then exhale, releasing gently down. Beautiful. Stretch one leg out in front. I don't care which one. Bring the other foot to your inner thigh. Rise with your inhale. Get as long through your spine as you can, and then hinge from that hip to draw forward. Inhale, find a little more length and space. Exhale, go a little deeper. Inhale, rise up, release that, and then switch legs. Inhale, and exhale, come forward. Really nice. Take an inhale, go a little deeper with your exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. You're just going to cross the shins. Take your hand, opposite hand to opposite side of head. Drop your ear to your shoulder. And then opposite arm just lengthens out. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to the other side. Release your hands to your thighs. Let your eyes soften. Turn your palms up. I'm just going to take 5 breaths here together to just finish this practice. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, solidify the position. Inhale, new. Exhale, let go of anything that doesn't serve you in this moment. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, draw your hands to your heart. Exhale, bow your mind to your heart and your hands. I thank you. Namaste. Thanks for being here. Check us out.